Hi, I'm Katie Felix. I'm a kindergarten teacher. Today I'm going to be talking all about assignments in teams. And the assignments that I'm going to be talking about are PowerPoint assignments. You don't think about kindergartners using PowerPoint, but there are many different ways that they could be doing it that are similar to Google Slides. By the way, if you are buying something on Teachers Pay Teachers and getting Google Slides, you can turn them into PowerPoints, and that's what we're going to cover today. So I'm going to start right here at Teachers Pay Teachers. I have a resource from Tara West. It's Distance Learning Google Slides. I'm going to hit download. And while that's downloading, it'll then pop up over here. I'm going to open that up, and here are the resources. So I'm going to touch my screen and just hit Google Slides. And that'll pop up with the next location. Notice that it's saying make a copy because I don't want to use her original. So I'm going to hit make a copy. And even though I'm in Google Slides right now, I'm going to be able to do PowerPoint. So I'm going to touch right here on File, and I'm going to hit Download. So once again, once it opens, I hit File, then Download. And Microsoft PowerPoint is one of my options. I hit that, and I wait patiently for it to come up. It's thinking a little bit. It's making a copy of it. And now I'm going to click it. And notice PowerPoint is popping right up. I'm going to be able to hit Enable Editing if I wanted to do that. Right now, I'm just showing you. Actually, I will have to enable editing because I would like to show you what the task actually is. So these students are going to be practicing touching the screen. So moving the B from location to location. So this one you would want in edit. The children need to be able to edit this so that they can actually drag and drop things. So this whole set of files is all about just moving things and getting used to the computer. On other things, it could be that they are moving letters around. It could be putting a little somewhat clear. So if you had red, it's tinted red, and you can move the little piece over on top of the things that you want to cover. Like if they were doing all the words that begin with C, they'd be covering all the words that begin with C. It matters what you purchase or what you create for yourself, but PowerPoint is a place that you can do all of that. So now that I have saved my PowerPoint, so you're going to save it in whatever folder you want to in your OneDrive. You have to save the PowerPoints into OneDrive to be able to do assignments because they're going to pull right from your OneDrive. So I have gone into my team. This is a Tacoma Public Schools team. This is my family team, the Felix fam. We have this for multiple reasons. One, for me for testing ground. Two, for my kids to learn how to use Teams. And I'm so grateful that we did that. Along with, sometimes I give assignments. It could be something like the Spanish flu that my daughter wanted to research, and I just wanted to see what she was finding out, or things like Christmas lists. So I am on my team right now. I'm going to go up to assignments because we're going to assign that PowerPoint game. Sometimes with the PowerPoint games, there are more than one activity in there, so you might need to break that PowerPoint down and save it in small groupings. So just think about that. I'm going to hit Create to assign this, and I'm going to hit Assignment. Up at the top, I need to name it, and I'm going to say Getting Used to a Computer. You can name it any assignment that you want. This is where you would type instructions. I'm going to instead add a resource. So this is going to pull straight from my OneDrive. I also can assign class notebooks. So we will talk about that on a different video. And some of the ways that I use emojis to be able to help the kids with those class notebooks. So my folders, I have a ton. So I'm going to go to Tara West. I have it within the interactive files. And here it is right there, Instant Digital Practice. So I'm attaching. Notice it says students can't edit. One of the changes during the spring that Microsoft did was they made it automatically that students can't edit things. Part of the reason for that is so if students had a Word doc that they needed to read the directions from, it was all there. So I need to go over to the ellipses, and I need to hit students edit their own copy. That is a really, really important piece. So then I'm going to go down. I'm not going to do points. I could make a rubric for the big kids. Yes, that is a wonderful idea. I'm going to assign this, and I could actually assign this to more than one group if I wanted to. I used that when I was working with my team, and my kindergarten team was all assigning the same thing. So we would then assign it to each class that my kindergarten team covered. I can also do all students, or I could just do specific students. So I could give it just to my daughter, or I could give it to just my son. You could think about if you wanted different reading groups to have different assignments, that's where you would do that. You can set the due date. I'm going to go down a little, and then I can also hit edit right here, and I can schedule to assign in the future. So one of the things I like to do is make the assignments available at 7 a.m. each day, so it would automatically pop up. I would do that on Thursday or Friday afternoon of the week before, just to make sure it was all laid out. I then would set the due date, and I could set a close date, meaning the kids couldn't have access to it. Personally, I like to leave it open. It's a little harder with doing remote learning with that, because that means that there's a lot of assignments sitting there for families and it can overwhelm them. During the school year, when we are in the typical classroom, what we expect all the years before this was I would leave it open, because sometimes my kids would want to go play those different assignments, because to them it is play and it's a good thing to practice. So I'm going to hit done. I'm not going to worry about the due date. I'll just let it stay as in tomorrow at 11:59. It'll just pop up later to say, this is past due, and that is perfectly fine. So I'm going to hit assign so that you can see it. It's now in my list. I'm going to go to posts, and what you're going to notice is that it will pop up in the post. It might take a minute or two, but it will get there. Just so that you also know, you can do GIFs or GIFs, matters how you say it. Ooh, and there it is. So let's view the assignment. Here's the assignment, and I can hit student view, and I can open it up and see how it goes. Now that my assignment is here, I can hit edit presentation. They have the choice of edit in PowerPoint or edit in browser. A lot of families, it's going to be easier to edit in browser. It's good to see what it looks like on the student end. So I'm going to click down here, and look, I am moving the bees across the screen. I could then touch the next one, and it's very much like Google Slides, that you're going through each one and the children will do the activity. So think about if you had a whole thing of different letter games. You might have a bunch of letters and you're hunting for the letter B. I'm just thinking, starting of the school year, what activities that my students can learn how to use their finger to move things around, along with the fact of they're practicing these skills in ways that are easy for them, especially as beginning kindergartners. So we now have covered how to take a Google slide over to a PowerPoint, along with assigning PowerPoint games. I call them games because to our little ones, they look like games. It's all interactive. It's all about moving things around, which is what we want with our kinders. We want them to physically move things. We also can digitally move things, and it's really important to have both. So thank you very much.